Hi, I'm 16. I'm going to be an astronaut. I was wondering... what should I be doing at this point in my life to turn myself into an astronaut?
Three things, primarily. Number one is you need a proven ability to learn complicated things. Because one of the biggest tasks as an astronaut, and it sort of gets to your question, is an immense learning task, a memory task. Something some technician in Sevastopol in the Ukraine taught me in 2004 would be life or death for me in 2013 when something happened. How do I keep that thing in my mind so that if this particular emergency happens, I can do the correct 5 things? And that technician at the time, he said to me, hey, just remember this one thing. And people did that for 20 years with me. Just remember this one thing, because it'll be important if the space station starts filling up with smoke. And so the memory task is huge. And so when NASA or the UK Space Agency is saying, okay, we want to recruit an astronaut, we want someone who has a proven ability to learn complicated things. So how do you do that? Even an IQ test is like testing horsepower. It doesn't really test proven ability. So instead, hire someone who has a PhD in biomechanics or something, because they have proven their ability to learn something complicated. So that's step one. And so at least a master's degree in a technical field. But we're not hiring a particle physicist because when they get to the space station, they're going to do particle physics. It's good if they can, because we have particle physics going on up on the top. But they're there because no matter what they have to learn, they can learn it and figure it out and then do it. The second thing is, on board the space station, you are a long way from home. And we can't afford to go to the clinic. We can't afford to take you to the hospital. We can't afford you to have any sort of congenital medical problem that might cut short the length of your mission. When we send people to Mars, I mean, we need to send supremely healthy people with a very low probability of a medical event happening. So part of that you can control. Keep yourself in shape, exercise, and don't eat stupid food. And just keep your body under control. It's, everything you put in your mouth turns you into who you are. It's not that complicated, really, And so think about the stuff that you're putting in your mouth, and take the stairs and carry your bag. It amazes me people who are carrying gym gear who get on an escalator and stop walking. It's like, really? Why does an escalator give you permission to be lazy? Keep walking, it's just crazy to me. So you don't have to be a fanatic to keep your body in shape. It's just decisions every single day. And then the third is, so you have a proven ability to learn and a healthy body. And then the last is a proven ability to make good decisions when the consequences matter. And by that we mean where the consequences are high, financial or life or death. And so we hire test pilots, because the test pilots who make bad decisions are dead. And so we hire and we hire medical doctors because they handle life and death. And we hire people who have run programs because they have had huge financial and personnel consequences. And you can start to get good at making decisions right away. But decision making is a skill. Just like carving or math. Decision making is a skill, and you have to learn it and put it into action and then sustain it and practice it. So start making decisions with your life and then sticking with them. And for this month, I am going to learn 200 words in Japanese. That's a decision this month. You can learn 200 words in Japanese in 31 days. It's not that hard. Do the math, right? You can do it. And by the end of the month, you will have given yourself a skill that you didn't have before. You will have done it because of your personal resolution, and it won't just be some silly little throwaway skill. You will be amazed if you learn 200 Japanese words, how suddenly a part of the world opens up to you that didn't exist before. When you're walking down the street, instead of noise, you realize, I understood what that person just said. I know what that sign says. You are building yourself a slightly higher platform on which to understand the rest of the world. So that's the 3 key things. And that'll whittle it down to about 500 people. And then you just the other things. How interesting a person are you? What experiences have you had? What have you done besides study? Are you going to be an interesting person to go to Mars with? Can you play something on guitar? Can you sing? Have you that type of thing. So be a complete person. And then the final part is, and this is maybe the most important, to set yourself a long-term goal like being an astronaut. I think everybody in this room should have set themselves a goal for who they want to be 10 years from now. If you haven't, then how do you know what to do next? I mean, how do you know what to do next if you don't know where you're trying to get to? It's just sort of random, right? Oh, next I'll do that. I don't know, whatever, see what happens. Why not say, if everything went perfect, what would I be doing 10 years from now? And how do you even know, right? And the easiest answer is, I don't know. Well, next time you go into a bookstore, I bet you when you walk into a bookstore, you don't go to every single section evenly. You probably go to certain parts of the bookstore because they interest you. You know, you always go to maybe the same 3 parts of a bookstore or a library. Then do yourself the favor of saying, those are the actual 3 areas in a bookstore that I fundamentally, in my heart, am interested in. And that's what really interests me. So let's extrapolate that and say, 10 years from now, if my life went perfectly, and what I really like and understand is, I don't know, ancient Egypt. I'm fascinated by the pyramids. 10 years from now, if my life went perfectly, I would be the guy who figured out where the Sphinx came from. I would love to be that guy. Nobody really knows. Does it actually have water erosion on the sides like we think it does? Was it actually just a few thousand, or is it 10,000? We don't know. Okay, here's my goal. 10 years from now, I'm going to be the guy who figures out what the Sphinx is. Okay, so what should I do this weekend? I think I'll read a book. I think I'll study how granite is degraded by water. I think I'll look at how the face of the Sphinx was changed over time. I think I'll look up what Sphinx means. I think I'll, whatever, doesn't matter. By Sunday night, you will not be the person, likely, who has figured out where the Sphinx came from, but you will be slightly closer to being the person that you're dreaming of. So let yourself succeed. You will probably never be an astronaut. The odds are terrible. Make it your goal, but don't let being an astronaut be your measure of success. By the end of this weekend, if you suddenly you decide this weekend I'm going to do 1,000 sit-ups because astronauts need to be fit. Sunday night, your guts are going to hurt, but you're going to be a slightly fitter person, and because it's already Sunday, and but you can celebrate the words of Japanese that you learned, or the fitness that you've given to your body. Allow yourself to be victorious on a daily basis. Don't wait to succeed until some uncontrollable event in the far distance comes. And I think that is the way to conduct your life. Get those 3 pillars I talked about, but love what happens between now and then.